Hello, viewers. Today I'm going to talk about technology. Now, technology is, well, the basic fundamental principles and fundamental ideas or devices of modern society. Well, advanced society anyway, or we like to call ourselves, or so-called advanced society. We like to think of ourselves the hierarchy, you could say. So, if you've ever played a game before the 21st century, I mean before the year 2000, how outdated is that game? I mean, sure, the graphics are terrible, but what I mean is that if it's some sort of apparent futuristic game, like, for example, Outrun 2019, they make the world look so futuristic, blah, 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 but, I mean, it's 2012 right now, it's only 7 years away from 2019. I don't think things will become too advanced. I mean, Black Ops 2 made it pretty advanced for 2025. I don't think they would have those things in 2025. I highly doubt it. If it was 2075 or 2050 or something along the lines of that, I would believe it. That makes sense. But when it's 2025, the near future, I don't believe that. That's what, 13 years away? Not that long. I'll be 24, so yeah. Not that far along at all. So the world has really changed in terms of how we look at the future since the year 2000. Now, by 2025, we could have things like microchips that are implanted into everyone's arms when they're born, perhaps, or when someone is on medication, then then the hospital would know exactly what blood thinner or anti-inflammatory or anything you're on. The little chip that would scan it, and the little chip in your arm, for example, or your wrist, little tiny microchip, and it would tell them what medication, whatever, heart condition, blah 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 blah. It would tell them exactly the information they needed to hear. But we don't necessarily look at future technology for the betterment of society. We look at for destructive and war purposes. To gain advantage over enemies. I mean, how nice would it be to blend in with any camouflage, any environment, and see them with an X-ray scope through a wall? To have a silencer on your sniper rifle and shoot them through the wall and they wouldn't even know what's happening. And an extreme variable zoom that can zoom in 20 miles. I mean, how amazing would that be? And a sniper that gauges distance, wind, speed, everything, and can see through walls. I mean, do we really want to know? Obviously, I mean, we want to kill our enemies, but nothing can be safeguarded or protected. What happens when they capture some of these weapons, and they study them, and then they replicate them? And then they try over and over, and then they finally get it right. Then what happens? Where's the even advantage now? It's an even playing field all of a sudden, and then they decide, let's go invent more weapons. Then all of a sudden, friendly AC-130 gets the guns become malfunctioned, and they start shooting at their own troops and they can't stop anything. And then the plane nosedives into the highway. Or a remote control Reaper or Pegasus or something from our team becomes hacked by the enemy, starts firing at our own troops in a special ops mission, giving away their position. What happens then? See, technology will always go to the highest bidder, or the person who has enough money, power, determination, and weapons and men to get it. Sure, there's always a greed for it. Always. There always will be. I mean, there really is no fact denying that. So, we as people, especially North Americans, we don't really look at the betterment of society. We look at the betterment of ourselves. I mean, we're selfish fat bastards. We really are. I mean, really, there is no question about this. We always will be, and we always are, of course. We can't begin to grip what technology will have by the year 2100. I mean, look at Halo. Okay, Halo, I at least see some realism. It's the year 2241 or 2245. Okay, that makes sense. You have energy shields, you can go invisible, energy, blah blah blah, lasers. Okay, that makes sense because that's like 300 years in the future almost. That makes complete sense. I can believe that. But I don't know. People say different things completely. They say Black Ops 2 will turn out like it would just turn out like Halo. Yeah, I doubt that. It's completely different. There's no lasers or anything. No Covenant, no aliens, just humans. But I could possibly see a real thing such as Terminator actually happen. I could really see that actually happening. The robots that we built to protect us and our citizens and blah 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 decide, since they're so self-adapting and we made them way too smart, they start to question authority. And then the robots actually think, why do I have to obey you? And then they suddenly start a silent revolution. You still think they're on your side, but then they all hoard together and they start killing down, mowing down people. And then they make their own factories, take over the factories, produce these rogue robots, and implant the ideas and tweak their performance hardware to make humans enemies and any other robots friendlies. We could put it that way. See, technology can never ever be safe, no matter where it is, really. We need to keep it safe, and we really need to stop hoarding it for our own purposes and stop developing weapons that we really don't need. Unless, what I think they should do is they should develop weapons in secret, test them out, not on the battlefield, test them out here, but of course there'll always be spies to steal the weapon or take pictures or some intelligence or something along the lines of that. Of course they'll do that. Just in case North Korea or something attacks and this whole world becomes like home front, which I doubt will happen. I doubt North Korea can take over the entire world. Then yeah, I could see that happening. Or if the game or our world plays out like Rage, a huge meteor comes down, doesn't destroy the planet, but completely isolates blah 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 technology, blah 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 blah. Okay, that could be maybe plausible, maybe. But our enemies' will and their own determination will really make the fact and point that we need to really protect our weapons better. Seriously. We And in case North Korea does launch a military campaign, we pull out these weapons and attempt to destroy them. Because if North Korea launches one nuke at America, kills 10 to 20 million people, America will launch 100 nukes and declare massive strikes on North Korea, which will decimate the entire country. They could destroy North Korea and South Korea if they wanted to. They could make North Korea easily non-existent. North Korea is really just flexing its muscles that it doesn't really have. Sure, they have nuclear weapons, but can they really fire to the degree of destroying a country like the U.S.? Well, sure, if they hit Seattle, then I feel sorry for the Canadians who live in BC, who live quite close to the border like I do. So, I mean, North Korea, please don't hate on Canada. Oh. But I really don't think they hate us at all. I think they hate America more. And there's always the threat of the Muslims. Geez, stupid terrorist news. Allah, Allah. I mean, is that all you can really do? Shout his stupid name and then kill yourself? I mean, sure, that's a good cause. For 72 virgins that won't exist. And a river of honey. Bullshit. Yeah, okay. Oh well. It's in their heads, not mine. And the truth is that people will always need good soldiers, no matter how advanced the weapon, how advanced anything is, how advanced the optics, how advanced the planes. There can never be such a thing as 100% computer controlled. Sure, there can be 99.9%. There will never ever be such 100% control. Because computers, of course, have unlimited endurance, but in a way, they're just like humans. They need proper maintenance, they're vulnerable to viruses just like we are. Computer viruses. But they cannot self-sustain themselves and think exactly like a human. I mean, that will be a couple hundred years before they develop a computer that looks exactly like a human, think like a human, or Mass Effect, of course. I mean, she was designed to be the most perfect human ever. So just remember this, viewers. We will never ever be obsolete. Ever. Thank you for watching.